Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr.Cygnus, happy to bring you guys my first solo audio commentary for WCReplays.com. Let's just go ahead and get this replay fired up and pause at the 15-second mark while I just go ahead and take this quick opportunity to introduce myself. I'm mainly just a solo Night Elf user, spending most of my time in the upper mid-level 20s, traveling up and down the ladder, just trying out different strategies and stuff. Mainly just a Demon Hunter user. As for my commentary style, I like to try and analyze both sides of the game, both what my opponent is thinking as well as what I'm thinking as well. Sometimes that could be a lot more useful than what's just actually happening in the game itself. So, as for my opponent, I'm going to call him AKM for short because, of course, I'm lazy. And talking for about an hour will get pretty tiring when you have to say angry Korean man every time I need to address my opponent. But as for AKM, he has a really unique strategy that I usually see every time I play him. I've played him about 4 or 5 times in ladder, every game being really good. Of course, I do not win every game, but each one pretty impressive. He varies his strategies from game to game. I mean, you can't really predict what he's going to do, and he's pretty unique. And also another thing that's pretty shocking is he also has almost as many solo games played as I have, which is pretty impressive because you don't really run across that pretty often. You know, very, very rare thing to see. But he's also an incredible player. Level 25, I believe. I think at the time I was level 25 also. I have no idea what level I am right now. I play so many games that I can't really keep track of it. Sometimes I wake up in the morning to see myself level 20. Sometimes I wake up in the morning to see myself level 26. I don't know if I play in my sleep. I don't know what's going on there, but oh well. So let's just go ahead and get this replay started. I could talk forever. But let's go ahead and get going. So let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So right now you will see that my opponent has spawned across the map from me, and I, being mainly a Demon Hunter user, like to run up and grab the boots of speed sometimes in the circlet, which I've generally been doing every game since 1.12. Usually very effective. I find that against humans, especially on this map, they like to fast expand. So if I see a fast expansion, I'll dump the first point in emulsion, and I'll just run over there and start burninating some peasants. But usually that's not a good idea because later in the game, you know, that one point can be really nice in evasion. I'll usually go emulsion, evasion, mana burn, evasion, mana burn, or something like that. Level 3 mana burns, which you're trying to get generally. Usually, most of the time, I'll just go straight for mana burn and just go ahead and use the rest for evasion. Makes the Demon Hunter with his extreme armor and evasion a really good tank. He's a really good tank for an agility hero. He's definitely my favorite by far, and I've probably taken him to the limits many times. You'll see I take him to the limits this game quite a few times also, risking his death creeping. But that's alright. That's what makes you different from everybody else, is your abilities. Duh. Anyway, so right now my Demon Hunter's taking his sweet time training, throwing down a Moonwell. Right now I probably screwed up. I'm at 1 minute 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, catch up. And right now I'm just scouting right now, running up to the top of the map. Notice he's not at the top, so I'm hoping he's not across the map, because generally human players like to do that quick expansion. And boy, is that hard to stop if you do not go 2 AOW Huntress with like Keeper of the Grove. Really hard to stop. Plus, I don't like using Keeper of the Grove anyway, so I generally don't stop it. So I just start out with 1 Ancient of War. I start out with 1 Ancient of War for 2 reasons. Number 1, the archers are extremely effective for fast creeping with a Demon Hunter. Number 2, generally I get tower rushed or foot rushed if I try a quick tech without any tier 1 units at all, even on a larger map such as this map here, Lost Temple. For those of you who haven't played on this map 100 times. I'm doing a little sneaky thing, running up, just grabbing the boots of speed in the circle. I do notice my opponent is across the map. I do notice he has an arcane tower up. That's generally the best thing to do. If I was a human player, I'd always put that tower up. Practically nullifies any ward and harassment, but sure as hell doesn't keep my Demon Hunter out of your base. So right now, As you can tell, my Demon Hunter is blind, as in myself, because I'm just deciding to run through every creep on the way to the expanding area of my opponent. This is what I like to call braille running. But, no, seriously, what I was actually doing here is I was trying to scout out to see if my opponent was doing any kind of, something different, like creeping out those center creeps instead of doing a fast expand. I do not know that he has a Blood Mage at the moment. I do notice he does not have anything going on there, and he doesn't have anything going on in the center of the map, so I'm wondering, what the hell is this guy doing? So I do notice he has a Blood Mage. So Blood Mage, I'm thinking to myself, crap, he's doing one of those crazy strategies. So I just run in there. I'm stubborn as hell. I mean, there's no way I'm going to run across the whole map by boot speed and circle it, only to see a Blood Mage and run from a tower, 2 militia, and a Blood Mage. So I'm getting gang banged right now by the tower, 2 militia, and a Blood Mage. And I'm noticing, geez, his hit points are going down just about the same speed as mine, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick this one out. I'm pretty stubborn. And both our heroes die at the same time. At this same time, I'm also trying with that wisp in the corner to throw up a quick expansion at the top of the map. This was actually the first time I ever tried doing this on this map. I do notice that you can't do it up here. You can only do it on his side of the map. So the creeps go ahead, bang on my tree. And at this point, I was really pissed to find out that I wasn't able to cancel that tree in time. I guess I hit a lag spike or something. So I lost a lot of needed early game gold. But oh well, don't let it hold you back. I'm hoping I got the experience from the kill. So I'm putting up another Moonwell. Generally, if I do kill a hero, my hit points are really low from a harassment, I will go ahead and sacrifice my own hero. You know, because I'd rather spend the 170 gold than use the needed early game Moonwell. Now he says, who has the XP? You know, as I said before, I think I've played this guy about 4 or 5 times in ladder. And not that you guys care, but that's like the most this guy's ever said to me in a game. And yes, I do get the experience, and I damn well deserve it. After all, I'm the one who ran across the map. Balls out. I go ahead and I try and put up another expansion in this corner. Now, I thought the first time I just put it a little too close, so I go ahead and try it again, and once again, these creeps will come down from their position and start banging on my tree. This time I do manage to actually cancel the dang thing. Once again, I'm out gold, so I have to run my wisp out of the way. Oh well. Back on to business. I run my Demon Hunter down to the southern part of the map. Just going to try and creep out my natural gold mine here. I still have my boots and my circlet, which are pretty good. Alright, man, start creeping. Now, here's what I'm thinking at this point. I'm thinking, okay, the guy's got a Blood Mage. I mean, who goes Blood Mage, you know, unless you're going to do some AoE harassment? I was expecting maybe a mortar team harassment. Now, if you've never seen that strategy before, it's very hard for Night Elf to counter unless you do exactly this. Either one, make 2 Ancients of War and pump out an extreme amount of archers really close to their base and rush them. Now, if that doesn't work, the second thing you can do is what I'm doing now. So I'm going to do a straight power tech to Chumara. Now, the reason I'm making Chumara is because I plan to actually hide them in my base, and when he goes to bring that load team of mortars and AoE heroes, I'm just going to fly my Chumara over that hill and, surprise, you know, bust on his army before he can actually do any damage to my tree. So what usually that strategy consists of is a bunch of towers in their base, AoE heroes with a Zeppelin, AoE harassment on the gold mine. Later on you use Sorceress, go ahead and put invisibility on your mortars, run about 50 mortars into their base, blow up the tree, teleport out. You can't do anything to counter it. He takes out your tree, you have no gold income, and then later on he can just expand, get a bunch of whatever, you know, 100 militia to come back and kill you. Right now, level 2, trying to do some power creeping here. Mana burn goes off on the High Priest. That's always the best thing to do. Get the mana down so he can't heal that golem. Inner fire going off. It's been generally the best idea to do is to take out the golem first, the High Priest second, then the Berserkers third, which I don't do. I think I'm trying to trying to do a little bit of micro and macro at the same time. Get a little confused. And right now hit level 3, third point goes into evasion. Reason I do that, makes him a better tanking hero. I can do a lot more creeping at a faster speed. I do pick up the Book of the Dead, also known as the Book of GG, which is really nice, except for some Night Elf players, because all it takes is one wisp to get a bunch of experience. And I have that Hippogriff just chilling in my base. The reason I have the Hippogriff there is because I expect that Zeppelin to be coming by pretty soon with like 5 or 6 footmen. So what I plan to do is hide that hippogriff over a tree or something, so when he comes in the base with the Zeppelin, I can start focus firing on it, take it down. He'll probably lose his hero and his footmen to my army, because they'll be either stunned or dead from falling in a tree. And I'll be set, and that'll take care of his first game harassment. As for the second game harassment, you'll notice I started constructing the Chamara roost at the bottom of the map. I mean, the bottom part of my base. The reason I do this is for two reasons. Number one, this Chamara roost is extremely important to me, so I need to keep that alive. So if he was managed to get some mortars into my base, and he was to blow that up, I have no units to counter his mortars. Second of all, that also acts as a pretty good scouting building over that hill to notify if anything's coming up that hill. I have wisps on the outer side of my base. I usually keep wisps hidden around the map. They're good scouting tools. So now I'm just taking revenge on those creeps at the top up there, trying to clear out that gold mine so I can go ahead and expand. I have a surplus of gold. That's okay. I'm saving that up for Chamara and an expansion. As for my opponent, AKM, if you will notice, he has an army of 2 casting heroes. Archmage makes a second good hero. He has 2 spellbreakers, rifles, and casters. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, why is he doing that? Well, obviously, that's an anti-bear tech strategy. Spellbreakers taking any buffs from the bears, any roar, any rejuvenation. The rifles are used to focus fire first on the dryads, then onto the bears themselves. And the 2 heroes, I guess, at this point, would be used for AoE, but you do notice that AKM does actually go for the Banish. I call him AKM for the simplicity reasons, by the way. I think I did mention that before. Spellbreakers do indeed make a good frontline unit versus bears, not generally versus mountain giant, because they do have some nice armor, even though it's normal. So he's going ahead and clear out that top-bottom expansion. He's going to throw up an expansion in an odd area. That is good, because as you see, I threw mine up in an odd area too. Even though it's a little slower than a natural expansion, you know, not having to worry about your expansion being under attack is a lot better than that quicker gold, because that way your enemy just can't rush in, bash down your expansion before you could benefit from any of the gold intake. And plus, that also makes your opponent think that you are not expanding, therefore you have a smaller army when you show up with a bigger army, and you can win. So, me, I'm level 4, level 2 evasion, level 2 meta burn. I noticed that the smaller creeps are taken out there, so I'm just going to go ahead and do something quite daring, which is go ahead and run in and attack this main Fountain of Health creep. Now you're thinking, okay, that's pretty damn insane. The main thing I'm trying to do is I want to take out those 2 level 5 creeps. I want both their items, and I'm going to try and run out as soon as possible. But be as it may, I do lose a lot of archers in the process, which is, you know, not too good, because I lose the gold. But then again, I do have the expansion. On the other hand, I'm not going to really need these archers later in the game anyways, especially versus mortars. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. As for my opponent, level 3 Blood Mage, almost level 4, level 3 Archmage. He has the hero advantage, even though I'm almost level 5. He does have 2 higher level heroes. It's a better way to go. So I leave the Wand of Mana Stealing behind. Reason I did that is because I didn't want to risk leaving one of my other items down, so I can go ahead and pick that up and sell it. And plus my Demon Hunter's a little low on health. I just wanted to run out of the way. You will do notice that AKM is creeping out those Ogre Magi, Ogre Warlord, whatever. And as for myself, I'm just massing up a bunch of air units, expecting that expecting that mortar rush pretty soon. And as for the mortar rush, a good counter for that strategy is, of course, to get the Huntress and the Owl Scout ability. Getting an Owl Scout inside your base allows you to see him walking up that ramp, so you can therefore teleport in and take out those mortars before they can take out your tree. Second of all, it's just a good notification. You need to be able to teleport in before you actually focus fires on your tree. There's no way you can actually use a teleport scroll before the tree gets fired on. And at this point he does scan me, so the jig is up, so I'm busted. He sees I have a bunch of Chamara in my base, a bunch of anti-air, you know, and he sees the archers, of course. So at this point I was thinking, You will notice in a minute that he does kill my wisp right here. All I see is 2 AoE heroes. So I'm thinking, okay, he for sure has those mortars. I mean, who goes 2 AoE heroes? I haven't actually seen what he uses. Now his army's a little too far back from my vision. If you have it under my vision, I'm thinking at this point, okay, he's gonna try and run. I'm gonna try and run over there and catch him and probably take out as many of his units as possible. I had no idea he had a bunch of breakers, rifles, and casters. I mean, I would have been in some bad trouble if I would have engaged him at this moment. But I do notice that he is gone, so I expected him to run. So I think I'm gonna go down to the item shop and try and sell this mana stealing rod, and try maybe to buy like a healing scroll or something like that, and just go ahead and try and take out his expansion. I expect him to be expanding in his normal, natural expansion at this point. And at this point, I do see his army attacking my expansion. And I think to myself, I wonder if I should just let it go or just engage him. And I say, what the hell? I throw on the vitality boosting item. Just go ahead and detonate everything he has. Throw a mana burn off on the Archmage. Make sure he can't summon a water elemental. Therefore, I focus fire down on his rifles. He focuses down on my Demon Hunter. I drop a healing ward. He uses Banish on 2 of my Chamara. Incredible. Banish is a way underestimated skill in my opinion. Extremely powerful, especially versus the bear strategy. If you can take a bear out of the battle, I mean, that's a big unit. Especially bears take extra damage from, would be taking extra damage with the banish on top of them from any magic. So I expect at this point, I'm thinking, crap. This guy has, like, breakers, rifle, casters, and here I am with a bunch of air and some useless archers. I'm gonna get destroyed. This guy is probably running back. He's probably getting ready to counterattack me at this point. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to throw up some lures like right now. ASA freaking P. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, he probably has an expansion. I probably have the advantage because I expanded fairly quickly. I'm wondering at this point what I should be doing. At this point I stop all production on any air units because I expect him to be countering with any anti-air pretty soon. That's my opinion, which is smart. That's what he's doing. He's building a Griffin aviary at this moment. I fill my gold mine back up. I'm not too worried about that. I go ahead and put up another one. Now here's something you should always do. At every opportunity, always try and put up an expansion. Mostly when you have the advantage, that's the best thing to do. Or when you know your opponent isn't necessarily going to attack you right away. That's the best thing to do. Or when you think your opponent doesn't expect you to put up an expansion. So I have about 67 food. I'm pretty confident that, you know, if I was at my own base, I'd probably be able to hold off an attack. But I go ahead and buy a town portal scroll just in case. I also bought an invulnerability potion just in case he banishes my demon hunter again. Then again, I can take him out of the banish and put him back into the front line. He basically is acting as my only front line unit at the moment. So I do climb the hill. Do notice he has an expansion here, so I'm like, alright, cha-ching. I'm just going to go ahead and take down as many of these peasants as possible. I'm pretty sure he's going to teleport in at any moment, so I'm going to take these out and teleport out. If I was to take out these peasants, it'd be in my benefit, even though I had to use a teleport scroll. And I noticed that he is not teleporting in, so I'm thinking, okay, the guy's pretty close. I'm just going to keep focusing down on this town hall until he does arrive. I do notice that he is here, so the first thing I see is his heroes. I'm thinking, okay, time for me to get out. He does have anti-air, so I note that to myself. He does focus down on one archer, but I get out in time. Go back, as Panda would say, lick my wounds. My wound wells are looking pretty good right now. One thing that every night elf should do, I strongly recommend always upgrading the Moonwell ability at tier 3. I mean, you never know. I mean, it saved me games many times. And right now I'm just gonna go ahead and buy another scroll of town portal. Continue production on some mountain giants right now. Mountain giants is the unit of choice. I notice that all he has is breakers, rifles, and casters. Mountain giants are the most effective unit versus combination. Reason why the bear strategy isn't as effective as it used to is because a while ago people did not expect the bear strategy. Probably a month or so ago, most people using Night Elf would mass up mountain giants and rifles. So what would the human player do? Get the inner fire with the with a few rifles and knights. Knights, of course, rip apart mountain giants, even at tier 3 with a bunch of upgrades with their inner fire. And rifles tear apart archers to somewhat of a degree. They're pretty even, but you know, generally that's a good strategy. So what did the Night Elf players decide to do? I take it that they decided instead to counter with their own new strategy, which is bears and dryads. Dryads are good for dispelling the inner fire, taking out the extra buff on the knights. The knights are going to take severe damage from the bears. Bears using rejuvenation and roar, of course, are just going to rip apart the human army. Anyways, I do notice that he's at my expansion. There's no way I'm going to teleport in. That would be the stupidest thing I could ever do. Number one, obviously his army is better than mine. Even if he had an insignificant army, the worst thing you could ever do, teleport in and be in an awkward position. So I teleport to my main. I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to come up this hill, so what am I going to do? I'm going to hold this hill. I am not going to let him up this hill. And if worse came to worse, he was able to take that hill, I would just run back to my moonwells. But he's smart. AKM realizes that, you know, there's no point in trying to rush into a big battle, especially when all you have is one burning expansion and one in construction. He knows I already have one in up running expansion. At this point, I have one mountain giant and one on the way. And right now, I'm thinking Priestess of the Moon. My favorite secondary hero. Priestess of the Moon adds to my own unit combination. Not just normally the units, but Demon Hunter at level 6. I'm going to explain something. By the way, I will just also note that if you ever stick an orb of venom on a level 6 Demon Hunter, that is just sacrilegious, my friends. I'm telling you right now. I hate seeing that. Anyways, plus Orb of Venom sucks anyways. It's only good on, like, the Warden. But, back to what I was saying. Level 6 Demon Hunter doing splash chaos damage. True Shot Aura does boost that damage, so any more chaos damage being dealt in splash is really, really important. So that's why I get the Priestess of the Moon. Plus, she also adds to Dryad damage. She also adds to Chamara damage. But I'm not getting her until I'm fairly close to level 6. I don't really get her at level 5, therefore she sucks away the needed experience for my Demon Hunter to hit level 6. Right now I'm just going to run up and hit on his expansion. I expected him to expect me to be avoiding him at this moment, but that's alright. I have the Town Portal Scroll. I expect him to teleport in and try and save expansion, but yet again he does not. So I take up these peasants right here for some free experience. I'm pretty sure he's on his way, so I'm just going to head to the left. See if he has another expansion down there. But I do realize that here he is. I see his two heroes. He throws the shackles down on my Chamar, so I'm going to run back and I'm going to engage his army at this point. And you're thinking to yourself, obviously his army is a lot better than mine. But the reason why I do this, I know I'm going to lose all my air units, but I'm not too worried about that. Yes, I do have the gold. It does suck that I'm giving him a bunch of experience. But the main thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to see what skills his heroes use. And the most important thing, I'm trying to hit level 6 Demon Hunter. I'm pretty sure the rest of his army is not going to be able to take out my mountain giants. I'm not too worried about my archers. I can shadow melt them right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit level 6 and teleport the heck out of here. He takes down my human wards pretty fast. I hit level 6, so I get pretty cocky. I think, alright, I'm just going to go ahead and start messing with him for a little bit. But what he does is he does something extremely important and very smart at this point. He banishes my Demon Hunter. So, Demon Hunter, Mana Siphon going off. Mana Siphon really isn't that big of a deal for me. It's just going to prevent me from mana burning him, but all he has is Banish, and, you know, he can use that anyway, so I use, why am I not using my Potion of Invulnerability? That's because I'm using my Teleport Scroll, so I'm trying to save my Mountain Giant. Anyways, Mountain Giant goes back to the base of me. I end up leaving 3 archers behind. Bad and good thing. Number one, I can see what he's doing. Is he going to counter me right now? Nope. He's running down the hill, so I know he's running down the hill, but I want to see what direction he's running. If he's going to counter me, I need to know what to do right now. If he's not going to counter me, I'm just, of course, going to try and creep up my Priestess of the Moon. So I send a Mountain Giant. Actually, I don't send that. I kind of screwed up and left that. I almost got waypoint jacked right there, but he didn't see it. Or he wasn't there. So I try and run my archers down. Archers get focus fired on. He's not going anywhere right now, so he would have probably tried to counter me by now. So I fill up that gold mine at the bottom of the map. Yes, I had that in production as I was in battle. Right now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure he's going to go Griffins. Why is he going to go Griffins? He already has anti-air. He knows that I have nothing for anti-air. Well, he thinks I don't. So I'm thinking, okay, Banish combined with Griffins. Okay, yes, Mountain Giants don't stay banished very long. They take reduced damage from magic, but Griffins do an incredible amount of damage, magic damage, and plus banished units are also slowed, and they also take extra magic damage as well. It's an incredible hero nuking ability. Priestess of the Moon out. Demon Hunter's feeling pretty good. I got nothing going on right now. My phone is ringing. Hello? Yo, what's up, dude? Hey, I can't talk right now. I'm doing a commentary. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, I'll have to hit you up later, bro. Yep. Hey, do you know what a noob is? Yeah, well, that's what you are. Alright, man. Stay cool. Late. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, back to the game. Tree of Eternity on the long walk right now. I have the, Nature's Blessing. Make that thing move faster. It's worth it. Plus, my buildings are a lot stronger, so in case he does run to one of my expansions, gives me more time to counter. Now, he's running his army by. He does not notice that my Tree of Eternity is on the walk there, which is pretty lucky in my opinion. I don't have enough to stop him. I have 2 Mountain Giants, I believe, in production. 1 Mountain Giant, 1 Dryad. I need that Mountain Giant to pop out before I can effectively engage him. I know he has a ton of Riflemen. Now, a ton of Riflemen and Spellbreakers. Not effective at all versus Mountain Giants. And Dryads aren't the best of choice. I probably should have stuck with Archers, but I was really expecting Griffins in air right now. Because he has a surplus of Riflemen. I was expecting him to spend the rest of that money on Griffins. Putting it into Knights wouldn't be the best of idea. You need inner fire and a lot of Knights to take out Mountain Giants. So right now, I'm looking for him. I want a piece of him. Right now, he has 2 level 5 heroes. He does pick up the Endurance Aura item. That is a really good item. That is an incredibly useful item. Boosting the speed of every unit he has. That's like Unholy Aura, like ×2. That's what you want. Okay, I kind of make the mistake of running my Hippogriff in the front lines. That's okay, they go down. I get the Mana Flare off. Okay, Demon Hunter level 6. Got the anti-magic potion going on. I was expecting that to keep me from being banished, which does not. And that annoyed the crap out of me, but that's alright. I used the invulnerability potion. I'm going to start focusing down on his heroes. What I want to do, casters are taking severe damage. So I'm going to use everything I have, focus down on the Archmage. Archmage is taking severe chaos damage from my Demon Hunter. Bam! Goes down like nothing. Right now, I'm redirecting my focus fire onto his Blood Mage. Siphoning and Banish going off onto my Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter losing valuable Metamorphosis time. I continue focus fire. Using Taunt, redirecting the damage back to my Mountain Giants. I do make the stupid mistake of running my Priestess of the Moon to the back, exposing her to the army. I have my army spread pretty thin right now. Focus fire and going off on my Priestess of the Moon. And in an attempt to save my Priestess of the Moon, pretty soon I'll be using my Teleport Scroll because my Demon Hunter ability is gone. And right now I feel as if I lost out in this battle, but in the long run I think I paid off because I know now his army consists of all Riflemen, all Spellcasters, and Spellbreakers. Not effective at all versus Mountain Giants. I still have four Mountain Giants. And what the hell, let's make a couple more, so that'll make 6. 6 Mountain Giants versus a bunch of piercing damage units. It's not going to do anything to me. At this point, it would have been in his best interest to start making some Griffins. Yes, indeed, this is a weird game. Or to start making those Knights. But then again, he has 77 food, and I was pretty sure he was in the high upkeep range by now. So I wasn't too worried about any Knights at this moment. So as for myself, I know he has a bunch of anti-air, so I'm not going to make any Griffins. I'm not going to make any tomorrow. I'm just going to make about 75 food of Mountain Giants. Why not? Whatever works. I don't recommend that in normal play. And I'm going to go ahead and make some Dryads. And right now, not much happening. He's healing up in the center. And right now, I'm probably thinking, geez, how much longer can I play this game until my freaking lady calls me up and starts bitching or something. Beep, 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 beep. But, anyways, sometimes I'd like to use banish on her. But, that's alright, she's not gonna hear this commentary. She doesn't know I play this game. But that's alright, you guys are my secret friends, and as my secret friends, I'm sure you're gonna leave me some excellent comments in the forums for me. Things such as, oh, Mr.Cygnus, this is the best freaking commentary I've ever heard in my life, or, damn, Mr.Cygnus, you were my hero, you were so GoSu, or comments such as, gee, Mr.Cygnus, my sister thinks you're so hot, will you please be my brother-in-law so I can have free lessons? Anything like that is acceptable. I'm just playing with you guys, but, anyways, back to the action. Mountain giants walking across the map here. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm looking for an expansion. I want to take down his expansion and engage his army as soon as possible. Priestess of the Moon doing not much, but hanging out. At this point, he's probably trying to engage my army as well. He probably does not expect me to have like 20 mountain giants. So he's just going to run in there, and you see level 6 Blood Mage. This is something you don't normally see very often. And I was thinking to myself later on in the game as I clicked on the Phoenix does 75 fast damage. That is insane. 75 fast magic damage combined with banish is going to completely rip apart any banished unit, let alone your own hero. So at this point, we're trading expansions. Which is okay. I hope he does go up to my base so I can just grab a bunch of logs and start ripping apart his base. First thing you'd focus fire on is, of course, the town hall or the castle or the keep or the temple or the whatever. And, but he wisely does not go up to my base. Even though I didn't have a tree up there, I wasn't too worried about it. All he has is piercing. So I expect him at this point to be walking back to his base or trying to defend his own base. So I'm trying to cut him off, but I ended up sticking my dryads in the front line, getting kind of mixed up. I thought he used a teleport behind me, so I hear him walking back. Then I see, oh, he's over here, so I'm walking forward again. So right now, bring my dryads back, used a spell on the water elementals, focus fire the dryads on the Dragonhawk riders, blocking that damaged mountain giant out of the way, casting my level 6 ability, running my archers to the front by mistake, running back. Focusing down on the Spellbreakers. I want to get rid of the Spellbreakers, and you're probably thinking, why don't you just run back to the Riflemen? Spellbreakers are doing any somewhat damage to my Mountain Giants, and plus my splash chaos damage and the beating that they're taking, he can't run those out of the way either. So they go down. Priestess of the Moon hits level 3. I hit level 7 as well. Archmage level 5. Blood Mage level 6 still. Right now, focusing on that water elemental. I guess I ran out of dispel. I use the taunt. Right now, he's in bad shape. He's focusing on the remaining dryads that I have. Takes those out. Focuses fire on my Priestess of the Moon. Right now, I am back to my normal form. I'm just going to take out as many riflemen as possible. Tried to shadow meld my Priestess of the Moon and teleport out of the way, but I got taken down. Probably the best idea would have been for me to stay there and finish him off, but I did teleport out. Which is not too good for the game, but pretty good for the commentary, which just adds more time. So you guys can hear my voice. And right now, I'm just going to go back to my base, heal up for a little bit. Things are looking good. Couple more dryads along the way. At this point, I was thinking, alright, come on, man, you've got to be pumping out some griffins any point now. But he's not. Still with level 6 Blood Mage, level 5 Archmage. Phoenix still hanging out. Spending a lot of time in the egg form. So, I get my Tree of Eternity scouted by a peasant. So, looks like AKM's going to turn around and try and attack my Tree of Eternity. And I'm going to go ahead and expect him to do that. So, I'm just going to wait. I have about 5 mountain giants at this point. And about 5 dryads, 1 on the way. And he does engage my tree. Takes the bait. So, I'm going to go ahead and flank him from behind. And right now, I'm waiting. Now I'm finally arriving. Just trying to stall him by healing my tree. Okay, I do engage his army. Focusing again on his rifle. He has no frontline units. I'm just going to redirect my attention to that Archmage which runs out of the way, so I'm going to go ahead and turn back around. I get banished again. Focus fired again. Going to go ahead and take out that Blood Mage, which was pretty relieving to me to take out that banish, which was really taking a toll on me, keeping my Demon Hunter out of the battle. I hit level 8. Priestess of the Moon still level 3. I'm redirecting my attention again to that Spellbreaker. Attention's being directed on my Dryads, which again go down pretty fast. Archmage, I guess, made a mistake. I guess he's trying to mass teleport away, and ended up mass teleporting into my face. So, old man's gonna get beat up. He's getting focused on right now. I run my Demon Hunter ahead of him, but I don't get it there in time. He's running pretty fast, so my only chance to take him down is a Mana Burn, so down he goes. Down he goes, and chasing my army is a bunch of riflemen. So I think to myself, okay, free experience, I'm going to take these guys out. He's focusing my Priestess of the Moon, which isn't really going to do any good, so I taunt, focus fire, taunt, Phoenix running away. Earlier in the game, me being a dumbass as usual, I sold my Boots of Speed, so then again it's going to be a lot harder for me to chase these running riflemen, even though they aren't that fast. Not too worried about that. I do miss his expansion at the top up there, because it was nighttime. And, as right now, I'm training up more Dryads, training up a few Fairy Dragons. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. I have 3 up and running expansions. I had no idea that he had 3 of his own. So, one thing you should never do is get a little overconfident in a game. That has lost me games, and there's nothing like losing a game you know you should have won. So right now I'm just gathering my units to the center of the map. Right now I'm going to scout around the whole map using the reveal ability to see if I can if I notice any expansions, and probably take those out while I can. He has no heroes out, so it's free reign for me to walk around and just kill whatever I can. Griffins being made right now. I guess he must be a little nervous at the fact that my army is all mountain giants and no anti-air, so he's probably trying to build as many units as possible, probably expecting a counterattack. And I know he's expecting a counterattack, so I'm not going to give it to him. Instead, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do earlier, which is go ahead and scout for expansions. Alright. Break time. Take a little sap of the water here. Been talking for a while. So, I'm just going to go ahead and run up that hill and take out that expansion, and here comes the free experience train. Take this out right here. I'm in the high upkeep. I generally don't ever enter high upkeep unless I have 2 up and running expansions. Reason being, you're taking little amount of gold, and if you lose your army, you have nothing to replace it with. I'm going to focus on this town hall. And I'm just going to address the strategy right now. The reason why the bear strategy was working for a while is because most human players didn't expect you to be making bears and dryads. Most human players in the earlier days, I'd say about a month or more ago, were seeing more of mass mountain giants and not really so much fairy dragons, but more archers with a tier 3 upgrade. Archers and mountain giants die really fast to AoE, knights, and casters. Inner fire being used on knights, of course, greatly increases their defense, which allows them to beat the crap out of tier 3 mountain giants, even if you do have 2 or 3 of them. Because mountain giants without the attack upgrade are just basically massive tanks, attacking at slow speed. Not very effective. And being your backline is all archers, the knights can then again run them down quite easily. So when the bear strategy came out, it was pretty new, because most human players, I mean, as a Night Elf player, you're expecting them, of course, to mass the Knights in the Inner Fire, or a quick expansion, and then all of the 3. So what the Night Elf players in return did, got a bunch of Dryads and Bears. Bears with a Rejuvenation and Roar, and Dryads for the Dispel of the Inner Fire can take out their army quite easily. So here I am engaging AKM once again. Banish going off my Demon Hunter. Smart move there, keeping that Demon Hunter. He's taking massive magic damage, but he has like 1,700 life points, so I'm not really too worried about him at this point. With his 10 armor, doing his like 70 chaos damage with that True Shot aura. Right now, focusing on the Rifleman. Rifleman, I'm not too worried about those Knights. He doesn't have enough Knights with no inner fire to effectively damage my Mountain Giants. So what does he do? He's losing the battle, so you might as well do what you can, is take a hero out if possible. So he's going to focus down on my Priestess of the Moon, and my Priestess of the Moon is going to do what she does best, which is die. And yeah, she's being focused on right now. Looks like 3 peasants and 2 knights are going to beat her down. So she gets picked. And knights go down. He has 2 remaining griffins. I'm just going to keep focusing on that, using taunt to keep the griffins from focusing my Demon Hunter, I guess, or whatever. And or my Chamara. That's right. And right now he's just trying to focus on that Chamara, but I just keep taunting. He runs a Blood Mage back in, distracts me. Effective. I hit level 10. He takes my attention away from that Griffin, which that Griffin's just going to turn around right now and focus right back down on that Chamara, taking extra magic damage because of the light armor. So I'm going to take my Dryads, turn around, and pick off that Griffin Rider. Try and chase down this remaining one, but it gets away easily. As for right now, the only thing really remaining to do is to just try and not rush the win. I'm aware of the fact that he has not expanded in the top area. I have a Wisp at his natural, so I'm pretty sure, you know, he's got this expansion. He probably has one down the hill. I'm just gonna probably take those out as soon as possible. And this time right now, I just discuss a little bit of strategy. Like I was talking earlier about that mortar strategy. Mortars are really good against the Night Elf if used properly. Maybe mortars and knights are the best way to go against Dryads, Archers, and Mountain Giants. He could have done that. Earlier I was talking about that mortar tech. That also is really effective. Using the mortar tech and the invisibility is pretty hard for a Night Elf player to counter because you have no early game detection other than the Huntress and the Owl Scout. Now, practically no Night Elf ever goes Owl Scout, and you need to actually scout the human and figure out that he's going the mortar tech before you even do that. Because Huntress in themselves are quite crappy versus mortars. They die fast, as I'm sure you already know. So again, I'm just expanding. I mean, there's no point in not expanding. I put up as many as possible. Expanding as much as possible is always the good way to go, especially if you have the advantage. I always recommend expanding on any advantage. Always capitalize your advantage. You should either do one or two things on your advantage. You should either expand or attack, or both. You should never go creeping when you have an advantage. Do not creep when you have the advantage. Unless you know, unless you think there might be an exception to that idea. If your hero is about the level, then it's a good idea to creep. You know, if it's a big level like from 4 to 5 or something like that. But generally, you should be attacking or expanding or expanding and doing something. Never stand idle. Right now, looks like AKM is just going to run up and he's going to see if there's anything at that top gold mine so he can throw up an expansion. Good idea, just trying to keep as much gold and flow as possible. I mean, he's doing the best he can to keep this game rolling. Right now, I do notice while I was canceling my tree that he does have Griffins, Knights, anti-air, spellbreakers, rifles, casters, 2 heroes, a kitchen sink, and all that stuff. So now he's focusing on my Tree of Eternity. I'm just going to try and slow him down by healing that tree. He's got like 7 armor. He's not too worried about it. I have enough time to run up there. Dryads in the front line once again. So I'm just gonna get his attention, say, hey, I'm here, dude, time for you to leave. So he's gonna mass teleport out. Smart move. He's in a very bad position. His army is very small. I have like 93 food, and he has like, let's see, 61. Not too bad, but not too good. He's going to expand. Smart thing to do. Expand when your opponent least expects you to expand. I don't expect him to expand in the same spot I just took down. So he got my attention. Right now he's running his army back. I guess he's not going to expand. I guess he doesn't have the gold. I'm going to check right now. AKM doesn't have the gold, so I'm going to take down those. I do notice his army's running to the center. I guess he's trying to heal, so this looks like the end of the game battle right now. So I take up what units are left in the back, focusing fire on those. And I do notice that the Griffins are coming to take out those Dryads. I mean the Dragonhawks are, so he's probably trying to get rid of that piercing damage, so the Griffins are left. Banish goes off my Demon Hunter. Banish goes off my Chamara. I focus down on the Blood Mage once again. Blood Mage level 7, taking massive chaos damage. And Priestess of the Moon hitting level 6, and what better to end a game but with some fireworks. So Starfall goes off, everything else is getting destroyed. Demon Hunter doing like 1,000,000 chaos damage, splash, and that's pretty much good game. Good game, no refried beans. So with that thought, I hope you guys really enjoyed the commentary. This is I was pretty nervous at first, but I guess I just got a little more relaxed later into the commentary. So I hope you guys leave some feedback for me, things I need to improve on, which would be really helpful, things I could do a little better, and we'll just take it from there. Alright, take care guys, thanks a lot. Alright, peace.